question 5. So, binomial expansion, we're going to use this formula which is given. A is our first term, which is plus 2. B is our second term, which is minus 9x, and n equals 4. So substituting that into the first 3 terms, we get this, and then we just multiply it out and gather like terms. So things to bear in mind. Remember that 4 choose 2, well, you can just work that out using the choose button on your calculator, or you need to remember that's 4 times 3 over 1 times 2. And secondly, be careful, it's minus 9x all squared, so that's 81x squared. Now for part B, we're being asked to work out the value of A. A is the constant when we multiply out this bracket. Now what we need to take on board first of all is what we're going to do, our f of x is going to comprise this first bracket, 1 plus kx, but we replace the 2 minus 9 to x to the power of 4 with the binomial expansion we did at part A. So our starting position is 1 plus kx multiplied by 16 minus 288x, and so on. Now for the purposes of a coefficient without any values of x, so a, that can only come about when we do this first clause, the 1 times the 16, because every other clause we could possibly do is going to comprise at least 1x, if not more. So our value for a must be 1 times 16, which is 16. Now for part C, we're being asked to find the value of k, this value here. So to do this, we're going to go and consider the coefficient of x. How do we get x's when we do these clauses? So how do we get x's? Well, they come about when we multiply 1 by the x coefficient in the second bracket, so the minus 288 x's, and secondly we generate some x's when we do this multiplied by this, so 16k lots of x's, and we're being told that the number of x's needs to equal minus 232. So just looking at the coefficient of x's, the number in front of the x's, we get this, and then obviously adding 288 to both sides and dividing by 16, we get k being 7 over 2. Now for part D, we've got to find the value of b. Well, this requires us to look at the coefficient of x squared. So again, our starting point, our first bracket, are 1 plus kx. Well, we've just worked out that k is 7 over 2, so we include that. And then just setting out our second bracket here, so that's just from part A again. How can we get some x squareds? Where x squareds come about with the 1 times the 1944x squared, and secondly when we have our 7 over 2x times a minus 288x, that gives us that number of x squareds. So our total number of x squareds are that clause plus that clause, which is this, and that is 936 lots of x squared, so B is 936.